first time I came here was 1993, the summer of 1993. I really had no idea what to expect. I didn't anticipate how extraordinary this place would be, how phenomenal it would be. But even in my first couple of months here, I realized it clearly. This place was unusual. I decided I wanted to get a good documentary record for myself. And I could easily fit a video camera in my backpack and carry it around with me. So I just started. When I first came, I couldn't follow them very well. Couldn't yet recognize much of anyone. And I wanted to be able to follow them without them being disturbed and trying to get out of sight. So in 1995, I spent 7 months here. And that was the first time that John Matani came. He came for the summer.
Wherever people have studied chimps in the wild, they're very difficult to habituate to human presence, and it takes 4 or 5 years. It was a long time ago, 22 years ago. It was a challenge. So the first summer I was here, it was just chasing chimps.
And we'd hear them call, and we'd go look for them. We couldn't find them.
Chasing them over hill, valley, swamp.
They'd move off, and we'd hear them somewhere else.
It was in the second summer. I'll never forget, August of 1996. It was a big group. They came down. I thought, as usual, what they do is run away, as they had been doing for the past year. But one individual, a male we call Hare, instead of bolting from me, just sort of ambled off, at a reasonable pace into the forest, and I started to follow him. I remember constantly thinking, when are you going to run? When are you going to run? But we went, over half a kilometer. I finally realized, God, he's not going to run. They'd been running away for so long. I think I almost started to cry. After all that hard work, finally somebody, permitting me to be with them. I sometimes wonder if they too have those same recollections and remembrances of me chasing them in the old days. Over the next few months, one individual after another permitting us to see things more clearly.
We were becoming aware there really were a lot of chimps here. My best estimate at the time was more than 140 chimps, which was far more than the largest previously known community anywhere.
Most chimps live in groups of about 40 to 50 individuals. It became quite clear that something very strange and unusual was happening here. There were a lot of chimps.
We started to worry that this community is so big, it's not going to be able to stay together. It's going to divide before we ever really understand what's going on here.
Initially, everybody had doubts
They didn't think that was possible,
whether the community is as big.
but it's happening at Ngogo.
Our colleagues were telling us, well, if the community is as large as you think it is, then what's going to happen is inevitably is that they got to split. But now as I look back on the situation and think about the matters, I think that was exactly the wrong thing to be asking. I think the question should have been, what's keeping them together? That was something that was entirely not obvious at the beginning. Chimpanzee society is very male-dominated. To understand chimps and chimp life, one has to understand the social relationships, the social behavior of male chimps, because they pretty much run the show. Well, it's quite obvious right from the very beginning that there was a clear alpha male, has a certain way and demeanor.
The sort of swagger.
That alpha male was Maya.
He was pretty clearly the alpha.
The chimps greet alpha males with this distinctive call, the pant grunt. As a formal signal of submission, everybody's going up to greet the big guy.
You're dominant than me, you're tougher than me. I'm saying this to you so you won't beat me up.
Chimpanzees tell you who's on top and who's on the bottom.
Not only do I know that whether I'm lower or higher ranking than this guy, I know whether that guy is higher or lower ranking than that guy. So they have a picture in their head with the whole hierarchy.
But the question is, how easy will it be for one male to control all the others? How easy will it be for that one male to control the situation?